Welcome to Cup of Joe with Poe. This morning we're going to be discussing this Karmelo Anthony case where this young man tragically murdered another young man. Now, leave it to the media to put their spins on things. One moment while the truck is backing up. There we go. So, let's really dive into this. What we understand of this case and what we know of this case so far. This young man goes into the wrong area of a sporting event, gets into a verbal altercation which leads in the death of the other young man. Now, it's real plain and simple. And I remember being young and being off the hook. When I was a teenager, I was carrying knives and guns and stuff like that. But I was at least smart enough to know not to take something like that into a school. Not into a school event or anything like that. In junior high, I remember, this is in the 90s, a young man brought a gun to school one time. In junior high and got caught with it. Snuck it out of the house. He wasn't like he was a bad dude. He just wanted to show off to other people, you know, that they had a firearm or whatever, so he brought it to school. He got in big trouble for that. They started putting metal detectors in schools and checking to see what children were bringing into these facilities. Now, fast forward to today. Obviously, there was no metal detectors or any kind of presence like that there. Maybe they didn't feel they needed excuse for someone to take someone else's life, with the exception of self-preservation. If there's I've had my ass whooped. I've been beat up pretty bad. And I knew the difference between this is just a fight, a physical fight. Mind you, anything can happen. Remember $1 Million Baby? Which that was intentional. She actually put the stool down or tipped it down. But regardless, remember, anything can happen. So self-preservation is number one. I don't believe this young man was in fear for his life. They showed the mugshot from shortly after the incident. Not a mark on him. So unless there was all physical from the body, he didn't have a mark on him. It'd be hard to claim self-defense that you were getting jumped or beaten if there's not a mark on your face. If the bystanders are all saying the same thing, you know, that touch me and find out, and then he stabs the boy, not just stabbed him like, I mean, I've stabbed people before, but I was smart enough not to stab them in the heart, chest, any vital areas. You know, you're pretty good with arms and legs to an extent if you try not to hit no arteries or anything. This goofball didn't do none of that. I find it really appalling that there's people donating money to him right now. He's got $500,000. So you mean to tell me because he killed someone else, he should get money for it? What society do we live in? There's people that are coming out to make this a race thing. Don't get it twisted. If it was the other way around and it had been a black young man that was killed by a white young man, oh, they would be rioting in the streets. Buildings would be on fire as we speak. Protest would be everywhere. Do you guys not see the double standard here? Does not anyone see this? How appalling is that? Humans are humans. Stop bringing race into everything. Just be a human being. It's culture. Culture has fucked people's heads up. There's a whole culture out here that thinks it's cool to do these negative and malicious acts. Truly. There's a culture. And then there's subcultures within that culture that glorify drug dealing, glorify all negative forms of anarchy and chaos that are plaguing America, especially in the black community. Come from a basically black community. I know firsthand. I never seen any of them receive racism on my end from my perspective, but on the other way around, I felt it firsthand when I got to the north from the south and had an accent like this and long hair, and kids would be kids. Yeah, I was picked on and called cracker and honky and all that stuff, and jumped and beaten, and I didn't let that put some stigma in me to make me hate some particular colored skinned people. I rose above that and seen, I guess I've always been pretty smart. I was truly lucky that my father taught me people, humans, the way to interact with each other, and the real about it, like how people see themselves. Too loud for all that in the morning. We went right around on that goddamn thing at 7:30 in the morning. 7:30 in the morning. I want to ride a... Man, I'm not cool with none of that no more. Like, I think until after 12 o'clock, a bike shouldn't even be started. I don't want to hear no goddamn motorcycles either at 7 anything in the morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I need to spray here.
Well, you'll give me one moment with my coffee here, and I'll be out your way. We're in the middle of filming. This is one of the attendants here. He cleans the walkway here, make sure everything is nice and clean. He does a pretty good job, too. He's been here for quite some time. We've seen him quite often. Good men, a good set of people here, too, that work at this McDonald's. But back to this topic. So, now, if the shoe was on the other foot, and it had been a black and white issue on the other side, like I said, they would have been rioting in the streets over this. Rioting in the streets. This is just appalling to me that society fell so back from just us being human beings, right? That this young man kills another young man, and now people are trying to defend the murderer. They're literally trying to defend this kid for killing this other kid. How? It's indefensible. You can't use race to defend things. You can't. It's impossible. And people that do, their minds are that big. Like the Hodge twins say all the time. Their brains are smooth. There ain't no grooves in it, just smooth brain. Seriously. Like, this is a clean-cut case of murder. Why is there anything else that needs to be involved in this? How has this kid got $500,000 granted to him through a fund, a GoFundMe? Who's really giving this kid money for murdering someone else? Beyond me, man, beyond me. And I'm sitting here stranded with my family in Hawaii, and we can't get $50. This kid got $500,000 for murdering someone else. Make that make sense, because it doesn't. It doesn't. That's why society has got this double standard and has allowed and enabled people to use their race as some sort of scapegoat, along with culture. Like here in Hawaii, for instance, this is a volcano. There's nothing indigenous here but lava. But there's a culture set in to where they don't like mainland people. We're called howlies, is what they call us. That just means you don't know the breath. See, I know the breath. That's the problem here, so I'm not a howlie. But people that don't understand their culture, and like you'll see men in skirts, they're not gay at all. They're regular ass, it's a culture thing, okay? Pretty good culture in a lot of ways. Now, a culture that will promote anarchy, a culture that promotes division is not a good culture. It's a bad culture. So there's a culture cleansing that needs to go on in America. And it needs to start with us who have children, to raise our children out of that culture, to change our ideologies, the way we see the world and the way we move through it. We have to change us first and then work on the youth. That's how this works. We have real-to-life heroes right now, like Donald Trump, for instance. I mean, next to George Washington, name a better president, literally. The man has been he was shot once and almost shot a second time. The second time around, he wins not just a popular, but wins electoral all the way around the board. Have you seen the red wave that swept America? Because we're sick of this bullshit. We really are. I did 8 years in the penitentiary. You know why? Because I broke the law, and I deserved it, and I did my time. Nothing as heinous as this. So this has to stop, society. Stop promoting violence. Stop promoting drug dealing. Stop promoting division. Try this. Be a human being for just one day. Just one day being a human being. And with that, I'm going to end. This has been Cup of Joe with Poe. It's been short, just like the last couple. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you'll get notified when we do a live. And if you want, go ahead and share this. Maybe it'll enlighten someone else. You can have discussions. And if you have anything you want to add to this chat, please leave a comment, and I will comment back, and we can continue this discussion through these comments. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day. Cup of Joe with Poe. 1.